5 sad truths why Nollywood actor Olu Jacobs stopped acting. Here are 5 sad truths why Nollywood actor Olu Jacobs stopped acting. Number 3 will shock you. Number 1 is declining health and age-related challenges. One of the most significant and unfortunate reasons Olu Jacobs stepped away from active acting is due to his health. In 2021, it was publicly confirmed by his wife and fellow veteran actress, Sylva, that Olu Jacob have been diagnosed of dementia with Lewy bodies, DLB, a progressive brain disorder. This condition affects memory and thinking and movement. People living with DLB often experience confusion, memory loss, and problems with attention and alertness. For someone in the acting profession, these symptoms make it nearly impossible to memorize scripts, engage in prolonged rehearsals, or handle the physical and emotional demands of performance. Olu Jacob struggling with dementia has been difficult not just for him but also for his family, colleagues, and fans. His wife revealed that although he sometimes remembers people and moments from the past, his awareness can fluctuate. This makes consistent work in film or television extremely challenging, and eventually he has to step back completely. Number 2, the natural cause of aging. Beyond the medical diagnosis, Olu Jacob is also in his 80s, an age when most people retire from physically and mentally demanding career. Acting may seem glamorous, but it often requires long hours on set, travel, emotional depth, and physical stamina. For someone in his late 70s and now 80s, even without a serious health condition, slowing down is a natural and expected part of life. After contributing so much to Nollywood over decades, it is only understandable but also appropriate that he could take time and rest, focus on his well-being. His retirement is not an act of giving up. It's a reflection of the reality that every human being faces. The body slows down and priorities shifts. Number 3, the emotional toll on family and close friends. Another often overlooked reason for Olu Jacob's departure from the industry is the emotional burden on his loved ones. Sylva, his wife of many decades, has openly spoken about the emotional difficulty of watching her partner change so drastically. She has described moments of heartbreak, seeing a man once so vibrant, intellectually sharp, now struggle to recognize familiar faces or follow conversation. Being in the public eye means they cannot grieve or process these changes privately. Everything becomes a matter of speculation and gossip. Emotional toll has also made public appearances rare, though he made a few surprise appearances at award events and film screening. It's clear that each outing is a significant effort and can only be done occasionally. For Sylva and the rest of the family, protecting his dignity and peace has become a priority over fame or appearances. For Nollywood has changed. Nollywood itself has gone through a transformation over the past 10 to 15 years, with younger generation of actors, directors, and producers coming in. The style of storytelling has shifted. The focus has moved towards shorter production timelines, more commercial storylines, and digital streaming formats that often favor fast-paced narratives. This isn't necessarily a negative shift, but it doesn't mean that actors like Olu Jacob, who were trained in more classical theatrical methods and who thrived in films that prioritize dialogue and depth, now find fewer suitable roles. There's also been a notable drop in the number of films featuring older lead characters or ensemble cast that require veteran actors. Hollywood leans more towards youth-centered stories. The role of elderly authoritative figures like kings, village elders, and patriarchs have reduced in number and complexity. Olu Jacobs belongs to a generation of actors who understood the weight and grace of every line delivered. The industry has moved on in some ways, and while his legacy remains, the current environment is not one he can easily or actively participate in anymore. Then number 5, his legacy is already complete. Olu Jacob may no longer be in front of the camera, but his impact on Nollywood is everlasting. He was never just another actor. He was a symbol of professionalism, excellence, and dignity. He has starred in dozens of Nollywood films, stage plays, and even international production, from British television dramas in the 1970s to epic Nigerian films like The Royal Hibiscus Hotel, Evil Men, Ashanti, and countless others. His body of work speaks volumes. Many actors and filmmakers across Nigeria and beyond consider him a mentor and aspiration. In 2021, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the African International Film Festival, AFRIB, an emotional and fitting tribute to a man who gave his all to the industry. At this stage in his life, Olu Jacob doesn't need to prove anything anymore. He has given his voice, his time, and spirit to the art. What remains now is rest, respect, and brands, not just of his past work, but of the man himself. Olu Jacob stopped acting not because of loss of passion or relevance, because life in its natural, sometimes painful way required him to slow down. His departure from screen is a reminder that even the brightest star must eventually dim. but their light can still guide others after. His story is not just about the sadness of failing health, but also about the strength of a man who gave everything to his craft. It is also about a loving family who continue to stand by him with grace, especially his wife, Sylva, who has shown extraordinary resilience and loyalty. Olu Jacob may no longer grace our screen, but his legacy is permanent. His performance, discipline, and dignity continue to inspire the old and the new. He didn't just act, he brought a path for others to walk, and for that, he will always be remembered. Olu Jacob is more than just a name in Nollywood. He's a symbol of what it means to act with integrity, depth, and purpose. And though he no longer appears in our screen, the reason behind the absence reminds us that even the greatest must, at some point, step away, not out of failure, but because life moves forward in its own way. His health condition, his age, the emotional toll on his loved ones, the changes in Nollywood, and the fact that his legacy is already complete. All these are real, human reasons, not headlines, not gossip, just honest truth. And this truth deserves understanding, not judgment. It's easy to remember him for the powerful roles he played, the wise king, the fearless father, the voice of reason in so many stories. But even more importantly, we must remember him for the strength he continues to show off screen. Living with a condition like dementia is not easy, and navigating it in the public eye is even harder. Yet, through the support of his family and the respect of his colleagues, Lee Jacobs continues to be honored with dignity. This moment in his life reminds us of something we often forget. Behind every star is a real person, and that person, no matter how famous, is still vulnerable to time, age, and illness. Olujoko has given us decades of unforgettable performances. Now he deserves peace, care, and the space to live the rest of his life with comfort and pride. We might not see him in new films anymore, but friends lives on in every serious actor who takes the craft of storytelling to heart. His presence is still felt in every scene where professionalism, grace, and discipline are required. His voice, once strong and commanding on screen, now echoes in the halls of Nollywood history. So, as we close this chapter on his acting journey, let us do so with gratitude. Gratitude for the stories he told, gratitude for example he set, and gratitude for legacy he leaves behind. Olu Jacob didn't just act, he defined what great acting looks like, and for that, Nollywood and all of us who love great cinema will never forget him. As we reflect on Olu Jacob's absence from screen, one thing becomes clear. Greatness doesn't fade because it steps away. It remains because it's left something meaningful behind. Olu Jacob has already done what many actors only dream of. He built a career based on skill, discipline, and depth. He didn't rely on controversy or shortcut. He earned every role, every award, and every ounce of respect by showing up and giving his best. Now he deserves the same respect in his silence as he had in his prime. Not every chapter ends with applause. Some close quietly, with honor, with dignity, and with a lifetime of work that speaks for itself. That is exactly what we see with Olu Jacobs. His retirement may be quiet, but his legacy is loud. Let us not focus only on what he can no longer do, but on what he already accomplished, because in truth, his name is already written in the history of African cinema, and no illness, no absence can erase that.